What if everything we know about the world's largest desert is a lie? Deep beneath the scorching sands of the Sahara, scientists have just stumbled upon a massive prehistoric forest thriving in total darkness. This isn't a fossilized graveyard. It is a living, breathing ecosystem sustained by ancient subterranean aquifers. The discovery, now referred to as the Saharan Paradox, challenges long-held assumptions about the limits of life and the nature of Earth's most extreme environments. Beneath the vast dunes of the Grand Erg Oriental, a region long considered barren and lifeless, new technologies have revealed something extraordinary. Deep penetrating radar surveys have identified enormous biological formations buried miles beneath the surface, stretching across distances that rival entire ecosystems on the surface. These structures do not resemble any known geological formations, nor do they match typical fossil patterns. Instead, their complexity and organization suggests something far more dynamic. Thermal imaging has added another layer of intrigue. Data indicates the presence of a stable, self-contained biosphere deep underground, maintaining its own internal heat and possibly even its own ecological balance. Unlike surface ecosystems, which depend heavily on sunlight, this hidden environment appears to function independently, raising questions about alternative energy sources that could sustain life in complete darkness. The consistency of the thermal signatures suggests ongoing metabolic activity rather than dormant or fossilized remains. Even more compelling is the recent satellite data, which points toward continuous change within these subterranean structures. Subtle shifts in shape, density, and heat patterns over time imply growth and adaptation. If confirmed, this would mean that what lies beneath the Sahara is not a relic of ancient life, but a living system, one that has evolved in isolation for potentially millions of years. Such a discovery would redefine our understanding of biology, forcing scientists to reconsider where and how life can exist. The implications extend far beyond Earth. If complex life can thrive deep beneath a desert, cut off from sunlight and the surface world, similar ecosystems might exist on other planets or moons with harsh surface conditions. Worlds once dismissed as uninhabitable could, in fact, harbor life below their crusts. The Saharan Paradox, therefore, is not just a mystery of our own planet. It may be a key to understanding life across the universe. As research continues, many questions remain unanswered. What exactly are these structures? How do they sustain themselves? And perhaps most importantly, are they truly alive in the way we understand life? Until more direct exploration becomes possible, the sands of the Sahara may be hiding one of the most profound secrets ever discovered on Earth. Beneath the arid expanse of the Sahara lies a hidden hydrological system that challenges the very idea of deserts as lifeless voids. What appears on the surface as endless dunes and extreme heat conceals a complex network of ancient water reserves, remnants of a time when North Africa was lush and fertile. During the African humid period, vast quantities of water were stored deep underground, forming aquifers that have remained preserved for thousands of years. These reservoirs, sealed beneath layers of rock and sand, continue to exist under immense pressure, creating a stable and enduring source of water far below the surface. This pressurized water does not remain stagnant. Geological fissures, formed over millennia through tectonic stress and gradual shifts in the Earth's crust, act as natural channels, allowing water to move through the deep subsurface. These fractures function like an invisible irrigation system, distributing moisture across vast underground distances. Rather than flowing in open rivers or streams, the water seeps through porous rock and narrow cracks, maintaining a slow but constant circulation. This movement is essential as it prevents stagnation and supports dynamic interactions within the hidden environment. Within this subterranean world, these water pathways appear to nourish extensive root-like networks embedded deep in the crust. Whether these structures belong to previously unknown forms of life or represent an entirely new biological system remains uncertain, but their dependence on water is clear. The steady supply delivered through fissures provides hydration, minerals, and possibly even chemical energy, enabling life to persist in complete darkness. Unlike surface ecosystems that rely on rainfall and sunlight, this hidden biosphere is sustained by geological processes and ancient reserves. Perhaps most striking is how this underground plumbing system explains the paradox of survival beneath one of the hottest regions on Earth. While the surface experiences extreme temperatures and relentless evaporation, the deep environment remains insulated, stable, and protected. The combination of pressurized aquifers and natural irrigation channels creates a self-sustaining habitat, shielded from the harsh conditions above. In this way, the Sahara is not merely a desert, it is a layered world where life may endure not in spite of its environment, but because of the unseen systems hidden far below it. Far below the sun-scorched surface of the Sahara, life appears to have taken a radically different evolutionary path, one shaped not by light, but by darkness, pressure, and chemistry. In this hidden world, traditional photosynthesis is impossible, yet evidence suggests that subterranean flora has adapted in remarkable ways to survive. Instead of relying on sunlight, these organisms seem to draw energy from chemical reactions within the Earth itself. Minerals, heat gradients, and possibly even microbial activity provide the foundation for a form of metabolism that replaces light with chemistry, allowing life to persist in complete isolation from the surface. This adaptation mirrors, in some ways, ecosystems found near deep-sea hydrothermal vents, where life thrives without sunlight. However, the scale hinted at beneath the Sahara appears far greater. Rather than small, localized colonies, there are indications of vast, interconnected systems, networks that stretch for kilometers through the deep crust. These systems may function as a kind of biological infrastructure, distributing energy and nutrients across large distances in a stable, self-regulating manner. At the center of this hidden ecosystem are enormous fungal networks, acting as intermediaries between the inorganic and organic worlds. These fungi-like structures appear to form symbiotic relationships with deep-rooted plant analogues, channeling minerals and chemical energy from surrounding a Sahara into forms that can be utilized by larger organisms. In return, the plant-like structures may provide organic compounds or structural stability, creating a balanced exchange that sustains the entire system. This relationship resembles mycorrhizal networks found in surface forests, but on a scale and in an environment never before observed. The existence of such massive cooperative systems suggests a level of biological organization that challenges current classifications. These botanical giants do not fit neatly into known categories of plant or fungus. Instead, they may represent a completely distinct evolutionary branch, one that diverged millions of years ago and developed in isolation beneath the Earth's surface. Without exposure to changing climates, predators, or sunlight-driven cycles, their evolution would have followed entirely different pressures, favoring efficiency, resilience, and long-term stability over rapid growth or reproduction. If confirmed, this hidden biosphere would force a re-evaluation of how life is defined and where it can exist. Evolution, it seems, does not require light, only energy, time, and the right conditions. In the silent darkness beneath the desert, life may have quietly rewritten the rules. Beneath the vast and seemingly lifeless expanse of the Sahara lies a hidden mechanism of preservation that challenges our understanding of time, extinction, and environmental change. What appears on the surface as an unforgiving desert may conceal a far more complex and stable system below, a preservation loophole formed by thick layers of crystalline sand. These arimal, compacted over thousands of years, act not merely as passive sediment, but as an active insulating barrier, shielding the subsurfer. Unlike the surface, where scorching heat dominates during the day and temperatures can drop sharply at night, the environment beneath these arimal layers remains remarkably stable. This insulation prevents rapid thermal exchange, creating a microclimate that resists the harsh variability above. In such conditions, life, once thought impossible in this region, may persist in unexpected ways. Organisms that disappeared from the surface thousands or even millions of years ago could have found refuge in these protected subterranean pockets. This isolated ecosystem functions much like a natural time capsule. Within it, biological and ecological processes may have slowed, adapted, or evolved along entirely different trajectories compared to those on the surface. Species trapped within this environment would not have experienced the same pressures that led to extinction above ground. Instead, they may have endured, preserved in a state that offers scientists a rare glimpse into ancient life forms and evolutionary pathways that were eschew. The implications of such a discovery are profound. If verified, it would challenge the widely accepted timeline of when the Sahara transformed into the inhospitable wasteland we recognize today. Current models suggest a gradual desertification process, but the existence of a stable, insulated ecosystem beneath the Arimal suggests that certain regions may have retained habitable conditions far longer than previously believed. This raises new questions about how climate change unfolds across different layers of an environment, not just on the surface, but, furthermore, the concept of a preservation loophole forces us to reconsider how extinction itself is defined. If species can survive in hidden ecological niches, then extinction may not always be absolute, but rather a matter of visibility and accessibility. What we perceive as disappearance could, in some cases, be a form of concealment, life continuing beyond the reach of our observation. In a broader sense, this phenomenon highlights the limits of human knowledge when it comes to Earth's most extreme environments. It suggests that even in places we believe to be fully understood, there may still exist undiscovered systems quietly preserving fragments of the past. The Sahara, long regarded as a symbol of desolation, may instead hold one of the most intriguing secrets of resilience and continuity. An underground archive where time itself has been slowed, and where the past still breathes beneath layers of sand. The discovery of a hidden ecosystem beneath layers of desert terrain carries profound implications for how we understand planetary resilience. Traditionally, Earth's biosphere has been defined by what we can observe on the surface: forests, oceans, grasslands, and the visible networks of life that sustain them. However, the existence of a concealed forest thriving far below the sand suggests that this definition is incomplete. Life does not merely occupy the surface, it extends downward into protected, stable environments that have remained largely untouched by the volatile forces shaping the world above. This realization forces a re-examination of the boundaries of habitability. If thick layers of crystalline sand can insulate and preserve ecosystems for millennia, then the biosphere is not a thin, fragile shell, but a multi-layered system with hidden reservoirs of life. These subsurface habitats may act as biological sanctuaries, allowing organisms to survive dramatic climatic shifts that would otherwise lead to extinction. In this sense, Earth demonstrates a remarkable capacity for self-preservation, with life finding ways to endure even as surface conditions become increasingly hostile. The implications extend beyond theory and into practical solutions for modern environmental challenges. Desertification, one of the most pressing issues of our time, continues to threaten ecosystems and human livelihoods across the globe. By studying how this hidden ecosystem maintains stability, retaining moisture, regulating temperature, and supporting life in extreme conditions, scientists may uncover new strategies for combating land degradation. These insights could inspire innovative approaches to soil management, water conservation, and ecological restoration, potentially transforming how we respond to expanding deserts. Moreover, this discovery reshapes the search for life beyond Earth. For decades, scientists have focused primarily on surface conditions when evaluating the habitability of other planets. Arid worlds, with their harsh climates and lack of visible water, have often been dismissed as unlikely candidates for life. Yet the existence of resilient, subsurface ecosystems on Earth suggests a different perspective. Life may not need ideal surface conditions to exist. It may instead thrive underground, shielded from extreme radiation, temperature fluctuations, and atmospheric instability. This provides a compelling new blueprint for astrobiology. Planets such as Mars, long thought to be barren, could potentially harbor life beneath their surfaces, where conditions are more stable and protected. The concept of a hidden biosphere expands the scope of exploration, encouraging scientists to look deeper, literally and conceptually, when searching for extraterrestrial life. It also emphasizes the importance of developing technologies capable of probing beneath planetary surfaces, rather than relying solely on surface-level observations. Ultimately, the hidden forest beneath the desert is more than a scientific curiosity. It is a powerful reminder of life's adaptability and persistence. It reveals that resilience is not always visible, and that survival often depends on finding refuge in unexpected places. As we face growing environmental uncertainties on our own planet, this discovery offers both inspiration and guidance. It suggests that solutions may lie not only in preserving what we can see, but also in understanding and protecting the hidden systems that quietly sustain life beneath our feet. If this hidden world beneath the desert amazed you, don't keep it to yourself. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to know what you think is really down there. Hit like if you want more mysterious discoveries like this, and subscribe so you never miss the next mind-blowing story. Your support helps uncover even more secrets waiting to be revealed.